No.
What's up, guys? It is your girl, Sarah from Sarah Styles here. Thank you so much for joining today's accountability call. This is every single Monday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard on my channel. Anyone is welcome to join. So today I have Leslie, Denali, Amber, and Kendall, and then everyone in the chat as well. A few couple announcements really quick before we get started. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves. Kim City, if you guys know Kim City, she was in an accident and there is a GoFundMe for her right now. It's in my description. I think I put it in my description. I'm almost positive I put it in my description. I meant to. I think I hit save. So if it's not, I'll go back and watch this recording, make sure it's there. But the GoFundMe is in the description if you would like to give back to that cause. She's a great member of the community. So definitely check that out. That's it. That's the only announcement I had. So as we wait for people to hop on, if you don't know Leslie, then you're missing out. Definitely go follow her. But I will let Leslie introduce herself, and then we'll just go around in a circle. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you, how you got into reselling, and we'll start there, and then we'll get into our goals after everyone knows who everyone is. So
Sounds good. So, hey, everyone. Hey, friends. My name is Leslie, and I am a Resellers Passion everywhere. You just Google me. That's my YouTube, my podcast, Instagram, website. Anyway, that's enough there. I am a reseller, but that's only one part of my business. I do all other kinds of stuff, and I guess we'll get into that later. I started reselling because I wanted to make sure I had a connection with my husband. You know, Sarah and Denali are probably tired of hearing that story, but I wanted to have a closer relationship with my husband, who was retired at the time. So reselling was the way to do that and to go sourcing, and we would sneak in breakfast and lunch and have fun, and it's developed into a great relationship. We do not run our business together. That will never happen. But we are partners in life. That's all that matters.
And your husband is amazing as well. He's not on social media as much, but remind me his handle.
His name is Thomas, and he's Posher Dude X on Instagram and in the PoshMark app.
Yes. Amazing. All right, Amber and Kendall, if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself. You have seen them on my chat as the Grumpy Thrifters on YouTube, and they wanted to join today. So welcome. Thanks for coming.
Hello, I'm Amber. I'm Kendall. I'm a recent college grad. I started reselling just kind of in college, and then I'm just reselling until I hopefully get a full-time job.
Yeah, what'd you go to school for?
Biological engineering.
Wow, good for you.
She's the one that understands the spreadsheet, not me.
Yeah, right up my alley. She's smarter than I am.
But yeah, she came from the state one day and was telling me about this app where she made like $200 or $300, and I'm like, what? And so she showed it to me, and I bet we can find these silver Birkenstocks that I've literally had for 25 years. And I'm like, there's no way. And I found them brand new on PoshMark, bought them, and I've been hooked ever since.
Yeah, I feel like that's most people's story. Like one good story, and then it's like, and now I'm addicted to this crack addiction that is PoshMark.
Yeah, and that's right. This is all the stuff that has happened since.
All right. And if you guys don't know Denali, that's a must follow as well. She has a YouTube, a podcast, an Instagram. That's it. Social media wise, right? Did I name them all? Yeah. I mean, that's it. Only 3, right?
Only a couple. Yeah. Hi, I'm Denali. This is Winnie. She'll probably be looking out the window the entire time. And yeah, like Sarah said, I've got all those things. So but I'm happy to be chatting with everybody. And then just to double down on what Sarah said about Kimmy City, the information is hopefully in the description down below. I've got to swipe up, and I know Leslie does in her stories as well.
Bios. Yep.
Yeah, Kimmy has no sensation from, I believe, the chest down. She was in a very tragic car accident. So please, if you have $1, yes, and $5 is even better, but all small amounts compound and add up. She could use all the financial help she could get during this time. So that's my spiel.
Yes.
I did just check while you were giving your spiel that it is in the description. And I saw that she's being transported to Denver. Is that right?
Yeah, from Las Vegas.
Yeah. I'll have to see where she's at. I mean, I know with COVID, like, they'll not, but I'm in Denver. So, like, if I can bring her a meal or just something, I don't know. I'll have to.
Oh my gosh, I would definitely reach out. That is really sweet.
Yeah. Well, I sent her a message, but I'm assuming she's getting like lots of stuff. And I've never actually like I know of her in the community. And like we like each other's comments and stuff, but I've never like actually conversed with
She
her.
actually sent me a message today, so she is responding to like DMs and things.
Yeah, same. She's slowly making her way through messages, I think. So
Okay. Yeah. Well, what a great community, because I've seen it on like as the day progresses.
Yeah.
I've seen it on everybody's profile. So all right. Well, today's chat is an accountability chat. So we kind of just cover what we did for the week, what our successes were for the week, and then we'll get into our goals for the week. I'm going to start with my success just because I'm super excited about it. I bought a pallet today.
Nice.
I know me and Denali have been chatting about it. I'm trying to figure out how to pay for it. So it's currently purchased, but they have to do like a wire transfer, and like it's kind of scary. I'm like, I want to make sure it's the right bank before so I sent them a message just to make sure I have it all like set up. But it's fine. It's very nerve-wracking because I have to bid on it. Do you bid on? Because so Denali does pallets as well. So do you do auctions on your pallets, Denali, or do you just buy them?
Yeah, I bid on mine also. It's stressful. And like, as you probably noticed, like you'll be like, oh, this wasn't that expensive until the last 5 minutes.
Oh, yes, right.
Oh,
no,
wow.
I already prepped for that.
Okay,
Because
good. I think it's shocking for some people, like those last 5-10 minutes is just like where it gets in. I mean, like you're literally jumping thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was intense. And I mean, y'all could probably guess, I did a lot of research ahead and looked at pallets that were similar and what they closed at to get an idea of. So like when it opened at like $100, I was like, okay, this is probably closing closer to like 3,000, right? Like, don't get all excited. But it is nerve wracking. And then you have a number, like I wrote down a number, like I won't go above this, but then you like talk yourself out of it. Like it's very stressful. Now I just have to figure out how to pay for it and how to get it to me. So that's my big success for the week. I've been talking about it for almost a month, but
It's awesome.
I'm a Libra, so like it's a scale, right? I weigh all of my options, and it takes me a month to overanalyze the whole situation before I pull the trigger. So that's my big success. Leslie, let's jump in. You have balls in about 17 billion different courts. So if you want to share a few of your successes from some of those with us.
Yeah, I'm taking, all the 50s as they come. I'm not slowing down. I'm speeding up. I have no babies. My youngest is 18 and it's on, baby. It's on. So, of course, I've been into tie-dye. I'm a handmade seller. That's my love anyway. So I dabbled into this tie-dye, and people in our community, I don't want to hear it. It's just a trend, whatever. I'm making good money, more money than I am reselling. And so I just started a new website called Graphic Necessity, where I take the tie-dye and the bleach and made you on the graphic shirt. So I have a tie-dye store, which is Leslie's Tie-Dye Dreams. And that's all like tie-dye, all kinds of tie-dye masks and shirts. And I'm bringing sweatshirts in this week. So it's been a lot of fun. And I'm also going to be, since my first love is crochet, adding just a few hats because I don't want to get my carpal tunnel going again. That's why I stopped. Yeah, I used to make really good money. Can you imagine using some string and making really good money? But my biggest win was, I don't know who else in the reselling community she reached out to, but I commented on Sarah's chat the other day, and her name is Shailene Johnson, and she's a PIO instructor, and she also teaches Beachbody. And then once I finished talking to her, we have a Beachbody with her right on the front, and she's teaching. She also, because of that success, she teaches people how to grow their businesses and everything. And
hold on, take a step back. You commented this on my post?
Well, last week, whoever you were talking to, and I put it in the bottom, and then you were like, Shay, you couldn't even figure out who it was because I didn't know who it was when she contacted me.
I love it. Now that you say it, she does PIO, and I love her.
Yes, I've never knew who she was. She contacted me, like her business manager contacted me, and I was like, yeah, whatever. So I went in. She's got 528,000 followers on Instagram, and what she was doing was a challenge. She wanted to talk to some resellers or whatever about their experience. I don't know who else she talked to, but then she challenges. She teaches people. This week, she was teaching people how to just take $100 and sell what they have and see how much money they could make. So for 5 days, she challenged them. And so she interviewed me. And my win, I have an ebook. I've sold 45 ebooks because of that. I've been invited to be on several podcasts. it's just been like crazy. I already have a consultant business that is not even reselling related. Not people who have scheduled through my scheduler. It's been an amazing 2 weeks. It's really been phenomenal.
That is awesome. I absolutely love her. She wrote a book that's fantastic. And I love
1 million downloads on her podcast. I'm like, seriously, I'll take a piece of that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so here's me and my sister are kind of obsessed with her. I'm going to be honest. I love Pio and I love all that she does, but she's in a contract with Beachbody. And I think that's coming to an end, so she's trying to like get her own hustle going. So I'll have to follow her.
Yes, definitely. So yeah, I was totally surprised because I didn't know what was going on, and then we just chatted like you and I are talking, and then she made it into a podcast episode, and it was released. They didn't tell me when it was released, but my ebook started selling before I knew the episode was released, and so I said, let me go see if it's dropped. That's what happened. So it's been really wonderful.
That's awesome.
Everything that's coming my way.
Oh, sorry. I neglect when I have this many people in. I neglect the people in the comments. So if you guys can see the comments and you want to jump in if I miss something, what is the name of the book, Sarah? Oh, are you asking Leslie's book or Johnson's? I don't know the name of Shay Johnson's book. I'd have to look it up. But I'm sure you can Google it. But Leslie has an ebook about reselling that you can look up as well. It has all the reselling info in it.
Reseller survival guide, practical advice for resellers.
It had like everyone needs it, but if you are just starting, it has like everything in it. You don't have to aimlessly watch YouTube videos or like suffer through and figure things out. It has all the information in it. So I'm just checking in with the chat really quick. What's up, guys? Michelle, Margaret's here. Cynthia, Glow Girl Go. Oh, we have lots of people here. Oh, Denali's here. In the comments and in person. Liz, what's up?
Sorry, I'm chatting.
All those ladies are in my chat now.
Liz, this is all you. Yeah, this is what happens when you have Leslie on. Everyone comes. Jacob, what's up, guys? Oh, Daniela. I love Daniela. All right, I just want to make sure I didn't not have questions. Yes, the rehab place. So Liz is saying the rehab place is in Denver because Liz is in Las Vegas, Nevada as well. So I think she knows her personally.
Wow.
Okay, cool. Amber and Kendall, congratulations, Leslie. That is super exciting. I'm going to have to check out her. I have a hard time following too many people on social media because then it gets like overwhelming, but I love her. So I'm going to go follow her, especially if she's breaking outside of just the fitness stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Amber and Kendall, what's up, guys? What have you been up to this week?
A lot of listing. We told ourselves we weren't going to source this week.
Not source?
Yeah, no sourcing.
No sourcing this week.
We made it all the way Friday. So I consider that a success.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'm kind of like terrified that things are going to close down and I'm not going to have stuff. So I used to be anti-death pile and now I'm pro-money pile.
Clearly we're not.
So you have stuff.
And I call it my profit pile. I refuse to make it a negative because we had no problem during shutdown because we have so much stuff, but we've had an awesome week. So we're definitely not going to thrift the rest of the week and list like crazy. And she's going to tell the success is definitely her item that sold this week.
So we don't sell a whole lot of hard goods. I don't like shipping hard goods. I mean, we sell mostly clothing because that's just what I prefer to list. But we did list a vase this week.
Can you scooch a little closer to the? It's kind of hard to hear you. Yeah.
So we did list this tiny little vase. It was like 6 inches tall, and it sold within 24 hours for $340.
Nice.
Those are amazing. See, that's what keeps you addicted to reselling. Is those little guys.
Yeah,
we paid $3.
That's beautiful.
So that's our best flip to date.
Yeah.
So.
That's amazing. Congratulations. So you have been sourcing still though, but you're still, as long as you list it, right?
Yeah.
Then it's okay. Yeah. You guys are on it. You list.
This week too.
Yeah. So I took Crayshell's class. She hasn't taken it yet. So we're doing the thread up thing and, the whole spreadsheet and all that. Like we've made good money on thread up, but we never knew to go in and change the prices. So like I look back at it now and it kind of makes me sick at how much money more we could have made, but whatever. So from going here forward, we got the spreadsheets and we're, going to legit do it correctly now. So
You live and you learn. And on that note, she's actually coming on Thursday, YouTube Live on my channel on Thursday to talk all things ThredUp. She does have a course, so she's not going to spill all the beans because she has to buy the course, but she will definitely answer questions and let you guys, people watching, know. So definitely make sure that's on my channel already, so you can hit a reminder for that. I haven't tried ThredUp yet because it's one more thing, but I hear a lot of people have good success with it. So Denali, you just sent out, was it you that I saw that just posted it?
I send out all the time.
Yeah, but I thought I saw it on Instagram today. Maybe it wasn't you. There's so many people.
I mean, I did send out four 20 by 20 by 20 boxes today.
Tiffany and Hugo sent.
Yeah, Tiffany and Hugo sent their first shipment.
They had a
maybe that's what I was seeing.
Yeah, stack and they were leaning on it. Nice photo too.
That's probably what I'm thinking. That's sell quick, ship.
Yes.
Sell quick, ship quick on Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah.
Say it too fast. I know, right? All right. So Denali, what's up? What are you up to, girl?
So my success for the week, that's what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay. My success for like last week? Sorry.
Yes. So like the previous week. So up until, so like this previous week.
7 days backwards. Okay.
Yes. There you go.
My success, well, it's a success in motion, but I have a new employee who just started with me. So we've been training. And so that is like, a process, and she's learning how to do lots of stuff. I got 2 pallets delivered last week. So we have been processing one of them. The second pallet I've been working on at home by myself because my office is only so big and I don't want to freak her out too much mostly. Does she have like reselling experience, or it's someone who knows nothing? No, she doesn't know anything, which is, I don't know, in some ways like kind of nice. I don't know. I wouldn't want anyone to come into my business with baggage. So no, it's great. She's fresh to it. So she's moldable. In fact, it's like kind of her first like real-ish job. So that's,
nice.
Just in itself, maybe good thing, maybe. I don't know.
How did you find her? Like, how did you find her?
She was a referral from my last employee that I hired in mid-June, who was awesome. Loved her. The only reason that she is gone is because she moved like far away. Like she could, not like 45 minutes where she could like maybe commute. It was like hours away. Mm. So when she left, I asked her like, if you have anybody that you want to refer to me, that's awesome. Like you. So she referred one of her friends, and so far so good. I mean, that's kind of nice if you can get like referrals from people that you know and trust. My prior career was in human resources, and hiring and training and interviewing, all that stuff is expensive, both monetarily and then with your time. It just all takes time. So
I'm going to dig deeper into some of this with you. This is how we get sidetracked. So, I mean, you have an actual employee, but a lot of people want to take it up to the next level and do like a virtual assistant, which I know that you've done in the past or still have, but you have experience with. And also an employee. But like, what are the realistic expectations? Because I have people all the time that are like, I tried a virtual assistant and it didn't work out. I'm like, well, how long? Well, a day. And I was like, well, you can't train a person in a day, right? And you can't, depending on, unless it's someone who knows what they're doing. Right. So what are some realistic expectations during, like, you have this employee, how long are you expecting until she can?
Yeah. So I still have my virtual assistant. I've had her for well over 2 years, could be 3 years at this point. I don't remember. She's awesome. She's great. I've never met her in my real life, and she doesn't live in this country, just to give you a little perspective on what hiring a virtual assistant can look like. And with virtual assistants, it's definitely going to take more than a day and probably around a week to figure out whether it's going to work or not. A good saying in HR is, what is it? Hire slow, fire fast. Right? If it ain't working, move on. Like, don't drag it out. Especially with a virtual assistant. I mean, you can just end a contract and start with somebody new really quickly. So you can really find out if somebody's working or not. But virtual assistants the ones you want to hire are people who have experience working on the platforms that you sell on. And there are plenty of them out there. But for hiring somebody in person, I think, what's really important for an in-person job is that Especially if you're going to be working together in the same office environment, is that you get along well and your communication skills are really good. And then I think it is really important, again, going back to those first couple of weeks, at longest 30 days, to see if it's working with an employee, because really if they're not getting it in the first few weeks, that's a really big indicator that it's just probably not going to work long term. And so you kind of want to, again, cut them loose if it's not working. So did I answer your question?
Yes, and I'm writing down other questions. Well, I mean, so you have your human resources background, which is, I'm glad that we're talking about that with you right now. But so I'm in the process. I have a virtual assistant. I'm looking at getting another one as a backup, because if something happens to her, then like I'm screwed. And so I'm trying to get a backup, and I've been working with her for a week. And my husband today was like, Sarah, stop. Like, she's not grasping it. And it's like, there's not progress. And he's like, just cut it loose. And he kind of dabbles in human resources too. But when I hear someone else say it, that's not my husband, it makes better sense. So thank you, Janelle.
Yeah, don't carve it out, because I have talked with people in the past who are like, oh, because I think that there's a part of us, it's the human part of us that are like, no, they'll get it. I want to, she's so nice or he's so nice, and I'll give them another week. This is your money that you're playing with. So if you want to continue to like spend your money on somebody who's not getting the work done that you need done, that's a problem.
Yeah, no, that's valid. I just also don't want to, because there's the other side that like, are my expectations too high?
Oh yeah, expectations, which you kind of touched on. And I think you do have to let go of that a little bit. And, that's harder for some personality types than it is others, but you're just going to have to be like, you know what? They're going to take photos pretty good. It's not going to be as good as my photos, but they're going to be pretty good. And I'm going to have to accept that, because I'm going to gain a lot from having them work with me. Right. So you do have to let go that you're going to get 75%, probably not 100.
Yeah, that's valid. I also, this week, Leslie, you look like you want to say something. Go at it, girl.
No, I was going to say not necessarily human resources, but from the management perspective. And coming in for me, my background is baking. So I was used to being in the kitchen with a lot of people. But then when I got a different job making way more money, it was just me in the kitchen doing my thing. When I moved here to Delaware, I was in the school district. Everyone around you, everybody wants to tell you how to do it. That's the first thing. But then also, if you're not doing it the way they want you to get it done, my philosophy is getting done my way in the same amount of time, and it's getting done how the company wants me to do it. I think that's really important. And sometimes we have to take that personal out of it and really think about it from the business perspective. See, I had already had management skills when I went in. I went to do a grunt job. That's all I wanted when I started here in Delaware. Yeah. I didn't want to be a manager. I didn't want to be a supervisor anymore, because I'd done all that. I just want to work and come home. So when they were talking to me in my head, I was like, if you don't back away from me. So I agree with Denali, because my goal, I don't know what I want to do in terms of hiring or whatever, but Thomas and I are moving. And when I move, my whole plan is to have a separate business maybe on my property. I don't want to have to go somewhere else just because I'm moving to a whole new state as well, right? So you can find a property like, Tori and Bill just did, but at least a working space that's kind of separate from the house. So then I'll start really thinking about, do I want to dabble in, because I have a lot going on and there's some things I could give up, but right now.
Well, it's not, I think you touched on a good point, and I talk about this virtual assistant a lot, and with Chris kind of really pushed me into it with our mentorship. I dabbled in it a little bit, but for me, I'm a numbers person, right? So I sat down and it's like, I don't want to spend money. No one, especially resellers, I feel like we're all like really thrifty and we're like, we don't want to spend money. But if I pay someone to do something, can I be spending that time making more money? So for me, it's building another dashboard or sourcing. Like, I'm a much better sourcer than I am a lister. I can go out and find items that are going to sell for $100, taking pictures or listing items. And my lister is better than I am. So I kind of, I went on that aspect. She is way better than I am.
The last thing I want to say, though, is even the people in the comments, just really think about your budget. If you're not bringing any money in, you can't let what other people are doing influence you. Everybody's business is at a different level. So what you hear is VA, and you're like, okay, so I need a VA. but are you really making money? And I'm not talking about you made $100 this week and now I need to go out and get a VA.
Right.
I have a savings account. I have an emergency fund. I have 3 bank accounts. So if Thomas and I weren't doing our business right now, we could live for a little bit. So that's what it's all about. Not you made a little bit of money. It's money saved that is a buffer. Okay.
And that's
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's a valid point. And it's also like, for me, if I'm going to pay someone else to do it, that hour of time I'm gaining back, I need to be doing something.
Exactly.
With it, right? Like if I'm just paying to do other things and I'm not doing anything. But for some aspects, like I hired a teenager to come over and take pictures.
Nice.
Because I'm going to remote start my kids in 5 days and I legitimately just don't have time. So it's either my business stops.
Right.
So I am going to be losing a little bit of money there because I'm not going to be doing anything for my business, but like, it's the only way that I'm going to be able to homeschool. Right.
And kind of on that same note of what you're saying, Sarah, I think, it really comes down to trading time for money, right? Whether it be in your personal life or your business, right? Because you are paying somebody to come into your home and do that. And it's buying back time for you to be with your kids, spending time with your family, which I think is totally an acceptable way. If that's what works for your business, right? Like Leslie was saying, everything has to make sense for your individual business. Don't worry about what other people are doing. But I think, going back to what you guys were saying also is that I feel the same way for my business in that, I'm bringing somebody else in so I can step back from these tasks that I feel like I don't need to, like, I can do them, but is photographing and sorting and taking whatever tags off stuff, is that the best use of my time right now when there are other projects that I would like to be focusing on? I'm not getting to do that if I'm like that far into my, doing the everyday tasks of my business.
Right. And if you have built it up well enough to be able to that's something I've learned too, is like I had to have processes in place before I could show someone how to do it. Amber and Kendall, do you guys have thoughts? We've kind of just been talking. Do you guys have assistance in this? Or have you thought about it? What's your perspective on it?
Well, I mean, I know it's a big heated discussion in the community right now, especially around PoshMark. We don't have a VA, but we also don't pay for stuff. So assume with that what you will, but like, I mean, hiring a VA is expensive. We probably could, but like you said, we're cheap.
Yeah.
So we don't.
Which is valid. No.
Yeah, they're actually not expensive. You can get a VA for like a real person. I'm not talking about like the whole bot issue. That's like a separate thing. We're talking about like a real human who creates listings and drafts and does actual real work for you, not a sharing service. But you can get a VA. If you hire one in the US, you can hire somebody for like $15 an hour, but there are people in other countries who work for a third of that rate. So,
and Denali, I'm going to give a little plug because Denali does have videos on how to do VAs, right? I've watched one of them. I don't know if you have other ones.
I've got 2. One is like a really good, like step-by-step video.
Okay. Feel free after this, or even right now, if you want to come and put your link in the comments so people can, or in the comments, in the chat, or in the comments later if you want to, feel free. Because it is helpful to see. It's kind of a scary process to go down. I watched your video after someone recommended it to me. But also, it's okay, Kendall and Amber, it's good to have a different perspective. It's okay not to. Leslie doesn't have one. You guys don't. There's different ways to do this.
My business is my baby. See, I'm listening to you too. My children are gone. So I miss that when I hear other people, not the homeschooling part, but I miss having a family. People are like, spend time with family. I don't really have that anymore because they're all moving on. So it makes me feel sad. So I keep myself busy so I don't have those moments because my baby, she's working and whatever. And it's that thing that I've heard people talk about so often, that the empty nest syndrome is real. I thought I was going to be like, yeah, I got this. No, it's so I keep myself as busy as I can so I don't wallow in that and be happy that I've raised them to be, successful human.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I may change my mind really quick when she gets a job and moves out because she, I can do, 8-10 listings a day. She can do so much more. She's quicker than I am. She's faster at everything. I mean, I'm 50 years old. I mean,
she is your VA. See, you don't need a VA because she is your VA.
But, I'm enjoying the fact that she's back at home. She's been gone for 4 years. But I didn't pay thousands of dollars to NC State for her too. flip stuff on the internet. I do.
Yeah, but it's a crazy time right now. Like, I mean,
she could go and get a job at Kohl's or wherever here locally. But I think like coming in and working with me, we do this thing together. She, I don't do this and she does that. We both do everything. And so she's getting, I think, great experience that she couldn't get anywhere else, because if she doesn't do the work, she's not going to get paid at the end of the month. And if we don't get our stuff shipped correctly, we're going to get dinged on eBay, so, she's learning a lot, even though I know that's not what the plan was right now. I know she wants to be an engineer, but, I truly believe that this little lull in life is going to give her a lot of experience.
I want to say, I want to comment on that. I agree with you 100%. My daughter, Stephanie, is 22. She works for a local university. She has her chef certificate, but she is on a high functioning, she has Asperger's on the autism spectrum. And so she's not working, and they just cut back unemployment. So I said, Stephanie, I just showed her how to like fold shirts and do a few things, but she wants to do something food related. So we're going to start a dog biscuit business. Like I need another business. I'm going to get her started because she can cook. I mean, she can cook. So I'm going to get that started and then let it be hers. But just like you said, it built something for them. I mean, she had her job, so that was confident. She was used to going where she was going, and now she's just home. So we have a plan, and I try to talk to her every day. And I definitely think a home business is business, because that's all I've ever done. Even before I met my husband, my son and I used to do vending every weekend. He was my business partner, and both our girls who are now working had their own PoshMark closets. So I definitely think it's a great experience for young people. That job will come, and you'll probably get there and be like, you know what? I'd rather be in business. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm hoping that maybe throughout this, she might see that she doesn't have to go to work for somebody else, that she can open up her own engineering firm or.
Look at her face. She's like, Mom.
With my exactly 0 years of experience.
I think this is so funny. And Denali, because you go away to an office. Is your son, he's 8, 10?
9.
That age. 9. Oh, right in the middle. But does he help you at all, or does he have like no interest in it?
No, he's too young. I mean, I always like
5-year-olds help. They are never too young.
Yeah, no. Okay, I guess maybe I'm like not cracking the whip hard enough. That's probably what it is. I threaten him.
I'm a mean mom for sure. Yeah.
I threaten him. I keep telling him once he has like a steady hand, he's gonna take photographs for me. So no, I don't know. It's just me, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, but you go away. I mean, for now you have an office, so it's not. Which is
gonna be interesting this year. I mean, even talking about the kids and the back to school and everything, for our school district locally in my area. And I actually think for most of my state, I'm in Washington State. I think all the schooling is at home. I don't think anybody's going in. Like there's no
hybrid or in person at all.
No. It's all at home. So luckily my husband his job is now 100% remote. So he'll be here, but it's tough. Like once he's back in school and then I'm at the office, trying to make sure somebody's making sure the work gets done. I don't know. I mean,
he could come. Yeah, I mean, he could come with you to your office at least, right? So like you guys.
I've thought about that. He might hate me, but yeah.
I think everyone, like, it's just going to be a struggle for everyone. Because I have 3 kids and I'm at home. I don't have a place, but it's just all a struggle right now for everyone to figure it out. They say you're a nice mom.
Avenue. Margaret has a great comment there.
Who does, Margaret?
Margaret. She says, I have 50,000 in student loans.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's really good. Seriously.
It's kind of what I love about the community is because we all have you don't get a degree in reselling, right? So like you have human resources and Leslie's everything, but an engineer and a mathematician, it's just crazy, all the different aspects.
And I don't have a college degree, so that also I feel fulfilled because I have accomplished something beyond what I could imagine, and so not going to college has not stopped me for achieving. I think if you stop, that's really where it matters. Even if you went to school and you decide that didn't work for you, keep going and don't stay still. That's what I am doing. So hopefully.
See, but you don't have the debt of a college degree, so I'm actually like,
I don't have, like I did. I mean, I have credits and everything, but I paid any student loans I had years ago. I paid them right off. Like as soon as that 6 month hit, I was working, so I have no student loan debt whatsoever. No.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the great part about reselling is that there's no cost to entry. I mean, like you said, you can be, any number of our different backgrounds, right? Mathematician who's now reselling garbage on the internet, right? Like it's pretty amazing. That is a job that has allowed so many of us to come back home.
Yeah.
And be, with our families, or maybe, or if you don't have kids and you just like want a more flexible job that you can work at your own time, and the joys of it, like not being an MLM. I hate to say that, but you know what I mean. It's like,
done that. So it's such a relief.
Yeah, exactly. I've done it too.
You don't have to downline. You don't have to report to anyone.
Exactly. There's no commissions you need to be meeting. Like I'm not having to sell candles to feed my family this week. You know what I mean?
Yes, right. And then you talk about it and you don't feel. I've never done an MLM, but I have friends who do it, and I'm like, I don't want to hear. Like I love you to death, but like I don't want to hear it.
Totally.
Or when I talk about reselling, I don't feel like they don't feel like you're selling me something to me. Just like, I got shit. If you want something, just let me.
Exactly.
Or more. It's like, do you have any shit I can sell?
Yeah, right.
Well, that's the thing right there. Like I'm looking around. Oh, looks like you got some stuff packed up over there.
Right.
You plan on going with it? Oh, you're about to take it to the Goodwill, huh? Can we?
Yeah.
Drop it off here. I'll take it to the Goodwill when I do.
I'm on my way. I'll just take it.
My problem is my family all thrifts as well. My brother-in-law's a reseller also, but all my family thrifts. So when I'm out sourcing, I often run into them shopping while I'm sourcing. And so I already and they don't know all the brands and stuff, but they're doing the sourcing for me because I'm like, well, you're already at the shop. You've already looked at the dresses. Was there anything good? Should I waste my time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So I thought I had, a separate space. I wanted to touch on that just really quickly because Leslie and Denali mentioned it. And the Grumpy Garments, it looks like you guys are probably like in your basement or something. I think it's hard to work from home. Like mine's in my house too. So we kind of have a split. Leslie's talking about moving out. It's hard to work from home because then you're always there. But most of us do it so that we can always be there, right? And so it's kind of hard to find that balance. I finally put stuff in a separate space and I'm trying really hard. And this is where hiring someone else to get those tasks done allowed me to not be stressed about doing them all the time, but being able to walk away. I was talking with my sister, a lot of the world right now is working from home and they're starting to see our struggles. Like my sister's like, I just can't get away. There's one last email and then before I know it, I'm still working for an hour and a half after work. And I was like, yeah, that's why me and your husband, because he's a reseller, work all the time because we're like, oh, we got nothing to do. Right. Let me go do this real quick. And then it's 2 hours later, right? So I just wanted to touch on that, kind of separating the space and finding ways to get outside of it without moving to a separate office if that's not what's for you, right?
Well, the way it works for me is my space that I'm in now. You see this comfy chair. My office is set up like a lounge, so I can work and watch TV or listen to music. It's very comfortable. It's almost just like if I took my computers out, it would just be like my she shed or whatever.
Right.
And then my studio where I take photos and things are downstairs. So I get all this work done. And then when I come upstairs and I bring things to list, it's casual and I'm laid back. And I don't mind turning on Netflix or whatever. But also it's my business and I don't have to, And again, I can have those days where I work for a long time because I don't have anyone that I have to take care of. So 2 days a week, I totally shut down. I may do some stuff on Instagram, but then they're my days where I listen to music, I watch TV or I binge watch. So I have to, and it also is about giving myself permission to step away from the business. I have to give myself permission to take care of me. So
that's hard to do. On that note, real quick, what are you binge watching? I need a new show.
I go back and forth. I like a lot of British mysteries. I'm like Broadchurch and Wallander. I just watched, and I'm watching a CSI. I love all different stuff, different things. I can watch Pride and Prejudice one day. I'm trying to stay away from.
I'm watching that right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from Twilight because people are like, "Oh, Twilight's on Prime," and I'm like, "Come on now! If I watch it one more time, my husband, what's wrong with me? That's a teenage movie, But I'm like, it's Jacob Edwardson.
I haven't watched Twilight before, so I'm gonna have to put that on.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
I'll just see. If you guys, we have a question, but anyone in the chat too, if you guys have shows. So I put on my Instagram stories binge-worthy shoes because I'm a reseller and it autocorrected the shoes. And so, but I didn't realize it. So people were sending me like Birkenstocks and like shoes, and I was like,
I saw that. When I saw you post that, I was like, binge-worthy shoes.
Funny. Oh my God.
well, apparently Birkenstocks, and I'm trying to remember the other one. It took me a minute. I was like, why are people sending me?
Call me out.
I didn't mean to do that one. I meant to do this one, but then it moved.
That's Nikki. She asks great questions.
Yeah. So do you all have set work hours? I'll let you guys answer.
Well, my oldest daughter has intellectual disabilities, which is another reason why I did this, because even though she's getting ready to be 25 next week and she has a worker that comes and gets her and takes her out to her day program and stuff, I still, I have to be here. I have to be on call. If things fall apart, I have to be here. So she leaves at 9 and usually comes home at 3 now. Mm-hmm. The hours have changed by all this COVID crap. So those are the hours that I definitely, I come out here and I ship, and then I try to get my listings in and get all that stuff finished before she gets home. And that's about all that I do. But then, of course, there's always, answering the questions. But, the grunt work, I try to get it done between 9 and 3 when she is at home, because when she comes home, I have to be mom.
Yeah, I get that. Leslie, Denali, do you guys have like strict work hours, or do you try and stick to a schedule?
I mean, kind of going back to your like separate spaces question, I guess I'll incorporate this. Part of the reason why for me, and I need an office that's not in my home, is because, much like I'm sure all of us, like I'm a workaholic.
Yeah.
And I will, if I see the work, like you kind of said, Sarah, like if I see it, I will do it. And, oh, we're done eating dinner, I'm going to go work. Like, oh, this TV show is over, I'm going to go work. Like, if I'm not already working while I'm watching the TV show.
I was going to say, you wait for it to are over? Like I'm sitting on.
No, exactly. Yeah, I'm working the whole time I'm watching the show. So the office gives me a little bit of semblance of work-life balance in that I leave there and there are certain things that I just can't do because it's all at the office. Now, of course, like I have my laptop and there are certainly lots of things you can still do from your computer in many capacities for the different facets of your business. So yeah, I definitely work when I come home, but it's taken the edge off a little bit. So, which is good. I needed it. So it's been helpful. And the work hours, yeah, I go in like around 10-ish.
Pretty good.
And I'll leave it around like 5 or 6 usually. I left early today because here we are. But
oh yeah, because you're on the other side.
He's on the west.
Yeah, on the west side. Thank you. I couldn't think of. I was gonna say Pacific side, but that's your Pacific time zone.
Yeah. So for me, it's a little hard because, again, I'm at that place where I don't have like little ones home, and I'm married to a person who works more hours than me. Like literally, you think I do stuff Thomas does. Like he resells on 3 platforms, but then he has a clean out business, and then he does the flea market on the weekend, and he's like older than me, but I would think that he would want to know he's always going. So in order for us to connect, which we did through reselling, is in the morning I grab that time. So I, have coffee and things like that. It would be nice if he would say, slow down, but he's always working too. So yeah. I have to figure that out on my own. So now I've done like a cutoff for business, which is probably about 7 o'clock. It seems weird, but I get up whenever I want to. Yeah. Now I don't have a child getting up for school. Even when my daughter was a senior last year, I would get up at 6 just to make sure she got moving. Because if I woke up and it's 10 and she's still in the bed, I would be freaking out, right? So now I just get up when I want to. Like some people are really early morning. I'm like, yeah, where do I have to be? So that's another thing. I may get started any morning between 7 and 10, just getting out of the bed.
You clearly do not have little kids if you have that luxury.
People who don't know me, I probably didn't mention that I raised 5 children, and
Yes,
only
right.
9 years ago I met my husband, who combined 5 children. So we have a family of 10, and both our youngest daughters just graduated high school. So
You've done your time. You've done your time. Yeah.
Sleeping girl.
So when people see me now, I try to tell you I've been there. And just having one day with my granddaughter is like having 3 or 4 weeks with 5 kids. So yeah.
Yeah. My hours, I've definitely tried to cut back. Really committing to a lister has significantly helped, because then I know I'm getting listings done every week. I still do the pictures, but I can crank pictures out really quickly with a kid. So I try and only work, I don't know, it's all weird with the pandemic, but during the summer right now, I try and get as much done as I can during the day. But when they start getting cranky, I'm like, clearly you need some mom time, because y'all are fighting with each other and like not leaving me alone. So I try and work as much as I can during the day. And then when my husband gets off at 4, minus I do 2 YouTube lives a week. Minus those, I try and take the evening off. I mean, if there's questions or someone's like, can you check a size? Like, I'll do that kind of stuff. And then once the kids go in bed, I usually will get on, just casually like watch a show and do like some offers or something. And then Saturday mornings, I work the morning. It's usually when I source, but other things happen. And I've started taking Sundays completely off, and it has been like glorious. I like to ship on Sunday nights, because hopefully I have a lot to ship, and then it's not as stressful. I can go down there, my husband's watching the kids and everything. But other than that, and I'll answer questions, but for the most part, like I used to like sit there all day and like edit YouTube videos, and like I'm not doing YouTube right now. Like 2 a week, that's what my life is like. We are rearing the end of this. I do want to get into your guys' goals for the week. So everyone, and I want to touch, because I just saw your comment too, Workaholics Unite. And I think we all say that we're workaholics, but it's like, to me, it's passion. And and maybe it's different for you guys, but I don't feel like it's work most of the time. And so I feel like there's a negative connotation. Oh, we work all the time and we're workaholics. And I'm like, but I don't feel like I'm working like 95% of the time. But finding the balance to spend it, like I am doing this to be with my family, and then I wasn't being with my family, finding that balance, right? So let's get into our goals for the week. Leslie, I will let you start and tell us your goals for this coming week. So from Monday, the next 7 days, Denali.
So this week, my goal is to get as much stuff. And you can, Sarah, you're right. It must be fun at your house. I'm gonna have to ask your husband.
It depends on what your version of fun is.
She got that sarcasm thing there. But so my goal is to list these 5 boxes of vintage items in my Etsy store. So I'm making at least 8 sales a week on Etsy. And I'm like, well, I haven't really listed anything. Let me get this stuff. Thomas was trying to sit at the table today, and his feet couldn't even go under the table because I had bags of stuff that I need to grab. Hey, profit pile, right?
Profit pile.
That's my goal there. And really, that's about it. I'm going live with Daniela on Wednesday. I actually took off some time, and that's really a good thing for people. Like, I may be doing like other things, but I haven't been doing like lives. I did Q&A 2 weeks in a row, but I haven't really done any videos. So I'm holding off until the 2nd week in September and just giving myself a break, just kind of relaxing and not getting crazy about anything. I love my handmade. I'm super excited. So I'm working on that. Just, doing a lot of wet sweatshirts this week. Sweatshirts have been selling. So it's sweatshirt weather, depending on where you are. So I just did about 14 sweatshirts, working on a little bit more, like you guys like nodding. And so that's really what I'm working on. Just kind of some casual stuff this week. And that's another thing that I do. I work in like a casual manner. Because I don't have children now. Remember, you get up in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, you're running around taking kids. Now I'm like, you know what? Slow and steady for me. So I do what I want when I want. Work a little bit, sit down. Work a little bit, sit down. So that's really important for me to also enjoy, so I'm not stressed. A job stressed me out, and I determined that I will not be stressed from my business. I want to have fun. So with PoshMark is stressing me or something, then I go to my Zen space, which has always been handmade items.
That's awesome. Margaret has a great goal. I'm going to take it a little easy this week. My goal is cooking dinner every night. That's a fantastic goal. Like, I don't think I'll ever beat that goal. Even before I had a business, like I hate cooking. Send it. Amber and Kendall, what's on your guys' agenda for the week?
I'd like to get the thread up done. We have, I think, 7 more labels to do, and then hopefully get some more labels once we send those off so that those 7 are out. And then just not source anymore. Just continue to list.
Did anyone go sourcing today? It's thrift store day.
Yes,
Yes,
we
You
did.
know?
Not very much, though.
Oh, I heard that. I caught it too late to go, but I heard
I
that
haven't
on
been in a thrift store since April.
since COVID.
Yeah, I source online. I don't.
Well, all of our like buy sell trade stores are going to 70 and 90% off. And so that 90, 70 and 90% off, you know, the Instagram notifications of, oh, everything just dropped 90% off. I'm like, oh, okay, let's go. So, you know, I just need to turn off all the notifications to all the stores that I follow. And then that way I will not be tempted. But last week, my goal was to get all of my Christmas breakables listed, which I did. I actually found one more that I have to get listed. So I do hope that, because I have a lot of the Fitz and Floyd, and I would really like to sell it now before, you know, USPS is just tossing the crap all over the place, because, you know, I've never had items arrive broken until last Christmas. And we had two or three things that broke. So I'm trying to get all the breakable stuff up, so maybe it'll sell before Christmas.
Oh, so they're too busy during Christmas time that you think they just were being careless. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I have a friend who bought a pallet, and it had like half of it was Christmas stuff. And she said she sold almost all of it.
Oh, yeah.
But she started listing it in July, and I'm like, I think a lot of people do like a Christmas in July kind of thing, maybe. I don't know. But so getting it listed now. Hopefully it sells for you too. Denali, what are you working on this week? What's your goal?
I think my goal is probably to figure out this pallet that I have in my garage in my house. So I've gone through about 30 to 40% of it, but it was a big one. This one had 700 pieces in it. So yeah, it's so a lot of it is going to ThredUp. So I just need to keep kind of moving through it and processing it, which just takes a lot of time. So that's been my work. I guess that's my work project when I get home. I said the only stuff I could do was on my computer, but I guess I lied. So that's my goal. I'd like to have most of it boxed up and sent out by the end of this week. That would be really nice.
Yeah, I'll have to look into ThredUp's on my agenda. I'm halfway through her course. But to me, it's like one more thing to do. And I don't know. But I think sending off old inventory or the pallet.
I think it's a nice compliment to your business. Grumpy's Garments, y'all will probably agree. It's just a nice compliment to your business, because there's just a certain portion of it that you really won't have to process. You're not going to have to photograph, list, ship, deal with customer service. There's so many things that will be taken care of for you that comes at a higher fee, but you'll still make money from it.
Yeah, that's smart. If you are willing to share, I don't want to like get all your tips, but like when you go through the palette, how do you decide what is like what you want to send to ThredUp and what you would keep?
Yeah, at this point, I'm not keeping a lot. I'm sending them. I'm not keeping a lot for myself. So I'm sending a lot of low dollar items, which it's a lot of what pallets are. You know, a lot of people see pallets and they just see people pulling $100 bills out of there. But the truth is, pallets are a lot of low-end items. And so that is the stuff that I'm sending there, because it's just not worth my time to list it. And it will sell there because things magically sell on ThredUp that just don't sell on any other platform.
Exactly.
As you ladies know.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then I think all of us know that there's certain high-end brands that they may have a high MSRP, but they don't do well for us. You know, like one that comes to mind for me is like, it's not all the time, but one that just comes to mind for me is like James Purse. It's got a high MSRP, but I don't tend to get near what it could be. And so that would be a brand that I would probably send off to them. And because I know that they could probably get way more money than I ever could for it. So it is a mix of like high and low end stuff, but for sure a lot of the low end stuff is going to go to them.
Yeah. I've been following some of the thread up, like, because a lot of people will post what it's selling. And some of those I'm like, you got what for that? Like, someone paid what for that?
It's like, it was crazy. I mean, like, I sent a lot of Caslon sweaters, which is like one of Nordstrom's house brands. And they retail for like 80 or 90, or no, maybe more than that. And they were selling on ThreadUp for like 70 and 80.
Yeah,
but like,
and you would get $10 for it.
We couldn't resell it for that much. We'd be lucky if we got like 20 or 30.
Yeah. Duncan is asking for those of you on eBay if anyone is on managed payments yet.
We are.
I applied 2 months ago to be in it and still have not been sent through.
I don't know why.
Oh, really?
We
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, we've been on eBay for a year now, and
Well, correct. We have had an eBay account since 2000.
my husband had a very successful eBay business for years, and then he quit it, and so I snatched it and have.
Oh, so you have all his history built in that night.
And so some people who decide to dive deep into our eBay are like, she keeps saying that they've only been up for a year, and
And I just got 1,000 feedback. That doesn't add.
but so we got managed payments really quick, and so we've had.
When did you like apply or accept to be in it?
As soon as they sent that first or second email, I got tired of seeing the message on my eBay.
Like what month? What month or what year?
This year, I don't know when.
Well, it was July. They sent out like the mass message in July.
So July.
Okay, July was like the last call, but I mean, like they've been bugging people to get in it for like since it started.
Prior to when they were offering money, we didn't get offered $50.
I didn't know either. I know. I'm so annoyed. All these people got like $100 offers, and I'm like,
what the
To
hell?
go over to manage payments?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't. I'm not in that boat.
So we don't prior to any money offering at all. Like,
Yeah. So, but
that's the cool thing about eBay is like my store is not closed. I just don't have anything on there. As soon as I start loading some stuff on there, I'm good. So if I ever decide to change my mind and start selling, that's the key, friends. Don't close anything down. And I go and I look for stuff and check comps and do all kinds of things and keep playing around with it. So that is a good plan, to do it that way.
Nikki is asking, as a new reseller, do you suggest to have an eBay store or is a non-store account fine?
I think at some point it will make sense to go to a store, and that point usually makes sense dependent on the number of listings that you have. Right. So just looking at, I would go in and you can they have like a spreadsheet where you can compare all the different store levels. I do think that once you're ready to get a store, get the one that's like, I think $20 a month. I think
the second one up.
Yeah, the second one up. Don't get the starter that's like $5 a month. You're going to want the second tier up. There's just more benefits that come with it that you'll want to use. So I think, and really it's once you hit like 200, 250. So if you want to be a regular eBay seller, it will make sense for you to get a store.
Because at some point you max out a number of free listings you get, and you have to pay a small fee per listing. So it's cheaper just to go ahead and get the next store, which is where we stay.
And they give you a lot of features too. So like, I mean, a lot of the YouTubers that you watch and they're like, hey, do this or look at Terapeak, or like, that's all stuff that you have to have a store for. You can't you only can do that. All right. I am supposed to get managed payments next week. So we'll see. Well, this week. What day is it? This week. So sometime this week, we'll see how long or how it goes. We are nearing the
we get our money. We have it so that we get paid every day. And so every morning I wake up to an email that they sent my managed payments from the day before, and we haven't missed a payment yet. If somebody requests a refund, send something back, then they put a hold on that money. So you can't get paid.
All your future funds.
All of your money, or just the money, like just the amount they would send it back for?
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
So they'll put a hold on that, and So, that's kind of annoying. And like before, you get paid, through PayPal, you have your money. I can go, 2 hours later to the Google and buy whatever I want. Well, you can't do that because it's got to transfer over to your bank. So your funds are not, as immediate as it was with PayPal. But it's much easier to see how much you're paying in fees per item because I'm not a math
I can't
person.
wait for that.
And
I am a math person, and it's awful.
so you can imagine, like, I had no freaking idea what was going on ever.
I don't.
And like, I can actually go to eBay now and like, finding the page is, another thing. But once I can find it, it's very
Bookmark it. Whenever you have a page on eBay, bookmark it.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was like a tip at the very beginning. I was like, yes, because you find a page and then it takes you a half an hour the next time that you want to go back
Yes.
to that page. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining. My goals for the week. I'm trying to get ahead. We start remote learning on Monday. And I've been trying really hard to be in denial, but I got one call from a teacher today and 3 emails that like it is happening. So that's where we're at. I have to pick up computers at the end of this week for the kids to be able. I have a kindergartner who will remote learn and a special needs high schooler. So I'm basically done with my business. Essentially, that time is all going away. So I'm trying to get as far ahead as I can. I'm about 3 weeks ahead on photos for listings. So I'm hoping to crank out some photos this week. I worked on some Instagram content just to have some stuff to put up, a couple pictures here and there. And then as time allows, I'll be able to put out more. But if time doesn't allow, at least I'm not like ghosted for a full semester, hopefully. So I'm just trying to crank stuff out and get stuff set up to become a teacher in a week. So wish me luck. Yeah. I'm like mourning it today. It's been coming, but like the teacher called today to talk to me and I like cried a little because I was like, this is legit happening. Like, and I cried too because it was my daughter's kindergarten teacher and we were debating. And after I talked to her, I was like, we're remote learning. And then it was like, she doesn't get that kindergarten experience. And like, it's a hard place for parents to be at right now. But on that note, thank you guys so much for joining. Leslie, Denali, and Amber and Kendall, feel free to come back. Some people in the chat were already putting in links for your guys' stuff, but feel free to come back and promote yourself for other links that you want as well. I don't put them in the description because I don't always know who is necessarily going to come on these, but feel free to put them in the comments if you want when you come back. Thread Up, I am having Kunshal on Thursday, Thread Up course 4:30 Mountain Standard. So join there. In the comments, lots of questions you guys can ask her and we'll learn all about the Thread Up process and the course that she has. Leslie is going to be on Daniela's chat and someone put that in the comment as well. So the direct link for that is in the comments. The accountability, this is a call every single Monday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard. Anyone is welcome to join. So if you want to join, just send me a DM and I will send you the link to join. It is maxed out at 4 people. So once it's full, it's full. But you can always join in the comments as well. I do have a podcast as well. It's essentially just whatever is on YouTube. So this call will go over to the podcast when I get to it. Hopefully this week. But so if you don't necessarily want to look at us and you just want to listen, like while you list, you can head over to the podcast as well. That is in the description. Those were all of my announcements and we're only 2 minutes late. So thank you guys for joining. Thank you everyone in the comments and have a good night.
Bye.